Yep, I know what you're thinking. I should have made this video years ago. WOOFWOOF! Hey guys, it's me Marcus, aka the Mad Dog, and we're back with another video. Now, the third season of The Boys has been released on Amazon Prime, and I know that this is a very popular series, which is probably the reason why I'm making this video. And when it seems like you've just got format after format, you've got your paperbacks, your hardcovers, your single issues, your definitive editions, your limited editions, your omnibus editions, your paperback editions of your limited editions, it can get a little bit complicated to know exactly what you need to pick up to make sure that you get this full series. The first format that we're going to talk about is the single issues, and these were published between October 2006 and November 2012. And if you're going to collect this in single issues, the first thing that you're going to need to pick up is all 72 issues of the main series. Yep, 72, so good luck with that, and you might think that that's all you need to get, in which case why am I doing this video? It sounds quite straightforward, but there were 4 spin-off mini-series that you'd also need to get. So you got Herogasm issues 1 to 6, Highland Laddie issue 1 to 6, the 6 issues of Butcher Baker Candlestick Maker, and the 8 issues of Dear Becky. Now Dear Becky works as an epilogue because it's set 8 years after the series ends, and it was published in 2020. Now if you're going to get every single issue and you're not going to miss anything out, and I haven't missed out any kind of one-shot or anything like that, which in all honesty is quite possible, then this means that you're going to have to get 98 issues. As well, now that the TV show's out, it might be difficult getting some of those earlier issues or the first appearances of certain characters because everybody thinks that every single comic is going to be worth thousands and thousands of pounds. And who knows, some might actually be worth that. Which is probably the only positive of getting it in this format, is that the value of the entire series, or at least individual issues, might increase over time. Still, if you're just looking for a reading experience, I don't think that this is the best way to go about it. And in all honesty, single issues, unless you get some kind of custom case, is not going to look nice on your shelf, which in the comic book collecting community we take very seriously. But if you're unsure what the differences are between single issues, hardcovers, trade paperbacks, I've already done a video that's like my beginner's guide to comics, and I definitely recommend checking that out. Next up, I'm going to talk about the hardcovers, because honestly, if you're a collector, that's probably the route that you're going to want to go down. First up, we've got the new omnibus editions that are being released over the next couple months. It's going to split the entire series, with the exception of Dear Becky, into 3 volumes, and it does look like they're going to be widely available. Comic shops can buy them from the direct market. It looks like Amazon and other booksellers are going to have access to them as well. And they've also recently opened a Kickstarter where there's different perks and stuff like that. But I'd definitely recommend looking into that. There were so many different tiers that I'd probably have to make a completely separate video just to go through it. And it's going to be 2 different versions of each omnibus. So you've got the standard, which is still going to be an oversized hardcover, so it's going to be in this format. And then you've got the signed editions that do include signatures from Garth, Ennis and Darrick Robertson. I believe these are all going to be numbered as well, so it is a little bit more of a collector's item, but it does seem like these are going to be double the price. And in all honesty, I think the signatures are the only difference between these 2 formats. So that's going to be something that you're going to have to ask yourself if you want to pay double the price for just somebody to scribble in it. This probably doesn't make me sound like a great salesman, but in all honesty, if you do want a signed edition, I'd probably just get 1 volume of it and then get the other 2 in standard, because then you've still got the signature, and in all honesty, I don't know why you'd need it across the 3 books. And if you live in the UK, you might be able to meet either one of these guys at a convention and just get them to sign it for you. And like I said, these haven't been released yet, but they have already scheduled all 3, so you don't have to worry about them abandoning the format. But I don't know, because it isn't tried and tested like some of the other formats in this list, you might want to wait and see what the binding and the production value's like. However, Dynamite's never really led me astray, especially when they've got these premium formats. Like, I really like the one that they did for Red Sonja. And if you do want to pre-order them already so that you don't have to worry about missing out, you can get them from the channel sponsor, Organic Price Books. They've got great packaging, fast shipping and amazing customer services, and if you use code WOOFWOOF, you'll get $2 off your order. And if you're ordering 3 or more books and you want them to be delivered together, make sure you use code WOOFWOOF, ship it together for 5% off your entire order. Don't worry, you can just copy and paste them from the description down below, and you can use these codes as many times as you like. By far the nicest production value that we've had so far is the Boys Definitive Editions. Now, I only ever had 1 volume of these, the rest really went out of print, which is the reason why I can't really recommend it that strongly. It's more than likely that you're going to have a difficult time completing this set, but you are going to get it in a much more oversized format. So in comparison to the trade paperbacks, that's pretty much the size difference that you're looking at. Not that size matters, at least, you know, that's what people tell me. They do come with a slipcase, and just overall they're fancier. But like I said, the negatives are that they are out of print. A lot of people know that these are sought after, so the prices are astronomically higher than the cover price. And I don't think that the print ones were equal, so certain volumes might be harder to get than others. And also, this will only give you 90 issues of the series because it doesn't include Dear Becky, so in all honesty, can it really be called a definitive edition? But that's just because of the time when it was printed, and that miniseries hadn't come out yet. But it does just mean that you're not really going to have the full, complete experience in this one format. There was one other hardcover format that were just called the limited editions, and these were standard size hardcovers, so they're still going to be the same size as the trade paperbacks. They're just going to be in hardcover. They have a slightly different cover, but in all honesty, it doesn't look like they completed this series. And if you're wondering why I know that, it's because of the fact that I was buying it in this format. So only half the series is being collected, and in all honesty, I'd recommend trying to get the definitive editions rather than getting the limiteds, because at least then you might have a chance of getting the full series. Now, I keep banging on about this Dear Becky mini-series to the point where this video could pretty much be called How to Collect Dear Becky, but this is getting an individual hardcover release. It's scheduled for July. Yep, you can already pre-order it from Organic Price Books, so go back to the point in the video where I mentioned them if you want more information on that. Now, I've checked the dimensions in the description, but it doesn't look like this is confirmed to be oversized. But in all honesty, considering the time when this is coming out, it lines up nicely with those omnibuses. They tried to do standard sized hardcovers and then abandoned that. I can say with a lot of confidence that this is more than likely going to be in the same format as the omnibuses. So that's great news if you're getting the omnibus editions, because it does mean that you just have to get these 4 books to get the full series. But if you're sticking with your super fancy editions, it doesn't look like you've got much luck at the minute, because it doesn't look like there's any plans to publish Dear Becky in a definitive edition. But with this just being an epilogue and not really contributing to the main series, it might be something that you can comfortably sit out. Now we're going to be looking at the paperback versions that have been published for this series, and the first one is the main 13 volumes. Now these are the ones that were being printed as and when the series was coming out, and this does contain everything including Dear Becky. And I haven't had this confirmed, but I don't believe that this is actually listed as volume 13, so if you want to get this alongside some of the other formats, then you probably can, and it's not really going to look weird on your shelf. You're not just going to have a stray volume 13, like I know that kind of thing would really annoy me, but if you're looking to pick up the 13 volume original series and you want them all new and from Amazon, you might have a difficult time because it does look like some of these are out to print. And if you're not too bothered about your books being new, I know that if you go on Amazon or any kind of comic selling group, every couple of weeks there's at least one person that's selling a complete run of the boys. Especially with those hardcover omnibus editions coming out, I can imagine that some people are going to be upgrading. The next version that you can pick up, and easily the most accessible for paperbacks, is the omnibus editions. And no, I haven't just got lazy with my notes, these are actually called omnibuses, despite the fact that there's also going to be hardcover omnibuses. And this is why I felt like I needed to make this video and clear up some confusion. But these again come in 2 versions. You've got the comic version, which is the ones that I've got behind me, and then you've got the TV editions, which each feature a different character from the show on the front cover. And in all honesty, if you prefer TV tie-in editions, please delete my number and just don't ever speak to me again. I'm just kidding. If you prefer the show, this might be a format that you want to pick up, and it would be a lot more recognizable to you if you're in a shop. But these omnibuses are in 6 volumes, and each one is pretty much the same as the equivalent definitive edition, and then you can just pick up Dear Becky at the end to complete this series, because volume 6 of this format doesn't include it. These do also include some extras and a few short stories in the back, so at least it is a bit more of a complete experience. And the last format that I'm going to discuss is one that I know a few comic people don't even accept as being real, but then again, it's the year 2022, so we're going to talk about digital. Now I have done a beginner's guide to digital comics, so if you want to figure out if that's something for you, I'd recommend checking out that video. But near enough every format that I've talked about already in this video is in a digital form, but in all honesty, I'd never recommend getting some kind of hardcover deluxe edition of a digital comic. It just makes no sense, because you're still going to be confined to the size of the screen that you're using, so you won't really benefit too much. But when I was looking at Amazon UK, there's a large number of the original 12 volume format that's available for free if you signed up to Kindle Unlimited. So this might be a series that you've already paid for, so why not just sample a few of these volumes and see if you like the series to begin with? Because even though yes, a TV show is based on this series, there are still a lot of differences. The tone isn't the exact same, and it might be that you only like the TV show, in which case you'll save yourself a lot of money by not buying all these volumes when it is that you might not have wanted it in the first place. But if you do go on to buy those digital editions, the negatives of it are that you're probably going to have to deal with Comixology. They recently updated the app. It's a bit of a shit show now. I don't even know if it's that easy to access your comics, and also there is no resale value if you buy the digital editions, whereas if you buy one of these other formats and then you end up upgrading like I'm probably going to do with these trade paperbacks, you can probably sell the previous version that you had and make a little bit of money back. With digital, good luck trying to sell that to somebody else. Now I'm going to wrap this video up by giving you my personal recommendation on which I think you should go for if it is that you're going to go down a specific route. If you're a bit strapped for cash, or maybe you don't just want to throw money at a series that you're not sure if you're really going to enjoy, enjoy, I definitely recommend trialing it out on Kindle Unlimited. And that's not me saying that the comic series is bad. I really enjoyed what I read of it, and I do need to go back and finish off this series. But at the same time, if you can legally get away with reading this for pretty much free, then why not do that? And for collected editions, whether you want to go down the hardcover route or the paperback route, I would recommend the omnibuses. These 6 volumes were very easy to get, they're very well priced for the amount of content that's included in them, and those hardcovers are coming out soon, so you don't really have to wait around or wonder if they're going to finish out the series. I personally would not recommend going down the single issue route unless you can find somebody that's selling the entire set, and I can't really see that happening, but then again, your luck might be better than mine and you might be able to drop onto something. But I'm just hoping that this video has helped clear up a few things. I've got another boys related video, so if you want to see that, let me know in the comment section below. But do me a massive favour, share this video where you can to see if we can get more people into comics and this series. But until next time, just make sure that you stay safe and stay mad, all you dogs. Woof woof! See you at the next video.